you for joining me. I am Laura. Happy to have you here and to talk about today about transcendental transformation. Transcendental transformation is to find the unconditional love within you and to get rid of the ego. It is as easy as that, but it's not as easy as that it sounds, because it takes a complete rebirth of ourselves. It takes that the old you dies, your beliefs, your belief system, your ego especially. There are certain things of you, patterns that you have been carrying out that needs to die so you can have a rebirth. You can have this transcendental transformation, because a transcendental transformation is the step from the darkness to the light. Is when you awaken, when you go through a transformation, not a subtle transformation, but a complete transformation with everything that, as you have known it, everything breaks apart so you can step out. The true you, your soul, your light, can actually make it through the darkness of the ego. Because that's the key to enlightenment. A lot of people is looking for meditations to raise the energy. It's very simple to raise the energy. You just have to connect with unconditional love. Every time you are driving in your car and someone, does something that is not legal, or does something that goes too slow or cross in red, you have two choices: to go to a reactive response, that is the ego, because you're being offended. So, my ego is offended because you just crossed in red. So my egos get offended and you react. So your energy just goes down. And you have the other choice: to be proactive and to see the situation from love. And just breathe and ask for God and the angels and archangels to help that person, so that person doesn't have an accident farther away, because it's doing all these things that are wrong to do while driving. So you have two choices: to go to the ego and keep yourself in the shadows. It doesn't matter how many meditations you do. If you don't transform yourself completely, if you don't die and rebirth, you can meditate to the rest of your life, and if you don't change, your energy will keep going to the same place, down. So a transcendental transformation is about breaking your ego to let the light to go out. Because God is within you. You won't find God anywhere else. You can't stop looking for God anywhere else, because God is not an outsider. So you won't find God in religions, you won't find God in temples, you won't find God in worships, you won't find God in songs, in communities. God is not there. God is within you. Why? Because with this, I am not saying that you are God. I am saying God is within you. You are a creation of God. That's why Jesus went always apart to meditate, to connect not with an outsider, not to ask. He went into contemplation within himself, into his own light, into his own soul, into his own power, of unconditional love, power is not force. Power is love. When you have power, it's because you have transformed yourself into unconditional love. So your actions, your thoughts, your words, everything that comes out of you, that comes into you, is unconditional love. That's all. And yes, it is possible to do it. You just have to get rid of the ego to understand that the ego is always going to tell you if someone offends you, or you are doing something for someone and that person is not appreciating what you're doing, then you say, no, 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 you know, that I won't talk to that person again, or, you know, like I won't do anything again for that. No, that's just a reaction from the ego, because your ego feel offended, because your ego understand that if you give something, you have to receive something in return. And love is not about that. Love is about giving. It's not about receiving. When you love, when you truly love, when you love from your soul, when you love unconditionally, the only thing important is what you give. What you receive is not important, because you understand that the others, they are not necessarily in the same frequency as you are. They are going to give you what they have, because people can give what they don't have within them. It's not about money. It's not about material things. I am talking about what you have within you. If you don't have compassion, you can't give compassion. If you don't have love, you can't give love. When people talk about self-love, you have to be very careful with not mistaking it for ego. One thing is to recognize the love you have for yourself within you, and another thing is to say, no, because I love myself too much, I won't do that. I won't talk to that person. That is not self-love. That is not even love. That is ego. So a transcendental transformation is when you understand that God is within you, because you are created from the supreme energy of God. God is a supreme energy. Is not a man. Is not a person. Is not all. God is an energy. It's a supreme energy of unconditional love. It's a vibration. It's the highest vibration there is. Because we are energy. That's all we are. So God is the supreme energy. And everything that you see here, from you to the most insignificant thing, has been created from God, from that supreme energy, because it's the creation. Is the energy that creates everything that exists, comes from that energy. So it's the same when you light a candle. When you have a candle, and like you light up a candle, and you take another candle, and you light this candle with the candle you have lit up, the first candle is not diminishing the light, is not diminishing, is not depleting the light. It is not less of a candle for sharing the light, for creating light to another candle. So you can light from that first candle 1 million candles, and the flame will be the same. The same with God. God is infinite, is not diminishing anything. God is not depleting. So God creates everything. That supreme energy is the creator of everything, including you. So everything, including you, has the energy of God within, because you are made of that energy. The same with your mom and dad. You have part of your mom's chromosomes, your dad's chromosomes, The same with God. So you have something from your mom and dad, right? So you have the same power of God within you, is the same thing. So a transcendental transformation is to acknowledge that God is within you, that within you only exists unconditional love and compassion, that everything else has been a facade of the ego. When you are able to take away the ego from you, to answer with love to everything, it doesn't matter how hard you are hurt. If you respond with love, you are enlightened. That is what it means to be enlightened. To be pure and unconditional love. Nothing else. Every minute and every second of your life. When you achieve that, you finally are transformed. You are awake and you are enlightened. Because now you are working with the power of God to give light to others. When you connect with God within you, with the light that has been hidden by the ego, so you clean up the ego and you discover there is so much light, so much love, compassion, abundance within you. But it couldn't get out because you were too attached to your ego. So you start connecting to your sacred self. You start now co-creating with God. You are now part of the spirits, of the souls that are raising the vibration collectively, because this is not in egotistical ways. You awaken and you enlighten yourself and you recognize that you take back the power that you have within you because you connect with God. So it will be completely easier to manifest anything. When you connect with your light, when you connect with God within you, then miracles start to manifest. You start co-creating in this plane. You start downloading what is in the spiritual plane to this plane very easily. But you don't do that in egotistical ways, like, oh, let me manifest for me. You manifest light and unconditional love for the world and for others. Because everything that you need is already taken care of. You don't even have to think about it because it's going to come by itself. Because you are helping spirits, angels, archangels, souls to rise up the vibration of the collective. Because right now the world is in shadows. The ego is very present in this society, in this moment that the world is living. So right now that you have the courage to transform yourself to be a light, to put out there unconditional love, to be the light that casts the darkness that is in the world right now, and to help others awaken themselves from your own experience, giving light to them, giving love to them, because you change others not by ignoring them, not by hating them, not by leaving them. You change others loving them, because love transforms. The only way you can transform another person is through love. Even if the person hurts you, even if the person do whatever it wants to do, and you keep sending light, and you can keep sending love, because you understand that that person is completely disconnected from God. And now that you know it's not that person acting, but the ego of the person acting. So you have compassion, because now you are not seeing things from your ego, you are seeing things from love. And that's the shift, that's the transformation. You don't need that much meditation, you don't need to take your mind into other places, because that is going to come once you connect to love, once you acknowledge the connection within you that you have with God, that the light is here. When you meditate, you start visualizing a light that comes from above. The light is not coming from above, the light is coming from within you. Because God is not an outsider. God is not above. There is not above, there is no below. So when you realize that, and you meditate with the light within, not the light above or the light below, then you can discover your soul. You can reach unconditional love. You can awaken to the light. Then you find face to face with God, and you understand everything. You understand that the only key and the only purpose that we all have here is to be love, and to give light to this world, to others, collectively. Because love is the natural state of your soul. So you don't love expecting something in return, because if you expect something in return, it's the ego that is telling you that you are loving. That's not love. Love is not about manipulation. When you love and you put conditions to the person you love, then you are manipulating that person. You are not loving that person. So the important thing on loving is what you give, not what you receive. But you only understand this when you transform yourself. You kill the ego. You kill that part of you. The ego part of you, the shadow part of you is dead, and you rebirth as who you are, and you are love. You are unconditional love. And you recognize the light of God within you. And then everything in your life transforms. There is no more struggles. There is no more feeling of frustration. There is no, like this anger. There is no hate. There is just peace and love, and the certainty that everything happens in divine order, and that everything that you need, that everything that is yours for divine justice is coming to you in the right time. So now you took the power out of your ego. So your ego is not telling you you are left behind, you are not going to achieve this, you are not going to have money, you are not going to have this. That voice is not within you anymore because you get it out. So now you can receive information, confirmation, you can see what is going to happen. And you have the certainty that everything that is for you, for divine justice, is coming to you in the right time. So you are just focused yourself on giving to others, on being a light to others, and being the unconditional love that you came here to be, that your soul is, that you truly are. That is the key to transcendental transformation. Recognizing God within you